makes a better hybrid, Honda or Subaru? We'll find out in today's video. I'll include a link to the Nate Wade Subaru and then the Ken Garf Honda's websites in the description down below. They're providing us with both of these vehicles. Let's get right into the comparison. Powering the Subaru is a 2.5 liter flat 4-cylinder paired to a hybrid. Fuel economy is 35 around town, 34 on the highway, with power outputs being 194 horsepower combined. The Honda is powered by a 2 liter 4-cylinder paired to a hybrid. Fuel economy is 40 around town, 34 on the highway, with power outputs being 204 horsepower. If you're able to, I'd really appreciate it if you would subscribe. Now the Subaru does have a one-up over the Honda with the front end, and that's the fact that the Subaru has fog lights, whereas the Honda does not. Stylistically though, I do think the Honda looks quite sharp. It's very angular and kind of comes to a point. Tire and wheel setup with the Subaru is 225 by 55 by 18, and you've got these pretty chunky fender flares. And here's a side profile with the Subaru. It's got that kind of traditional crossover style, but it's pretty boxy in the back too. Tire and wheel setup with the Honda is 235 by 55 by 19, so slightly bigger wheel, and the fender flares are less like rugged looking than the Subarus. And then here's your side profile with the CR-V. You can see it's a little bit more rounded off compared to the Subaru. Now first off, the seats do not fold down flat in the Honda. There's a bit of a kind of like rounded off hump situation, so that's a little bit of a downside. No spare tire with this either. Overall storage space is pretty good. It's got quite a bit of vertical space, but yeah, the seats and the no spare tire, a little bit of a downside. The seats in the Subaru on the other hand do fold down flat, and well, relatively flat, and then you got a cargo cover built in from the factory. No spare tire on this one either. It feels a little bit wider, looks a little bit wider with the storage area. Now you can see the back end of the Honda is pretty rounded off. Really cool looking taillights, how those go up on the bodywork. A bunch of blacked out badges to go with the overall theme of the CR-V. The Subaru on the other hand, you can see it kind of comes out to an edge, so it's still rounded off to an extent, but also a bit boxier compared to what you're seeing with the Honda. Good legroom here on the back of the Honda. Got some vents here in the rear, USB ports. I do like the kind of design and trim on the seats. And then you do have soft touch on the door panel and pretty good headroom. There is a sunroof, so that kind of pulls down the headspace a bit. Now in the back of the Subaru, good legroom too. Got storage pocket right there. Got some vents in the back, USB ports, and the seats perforated. These are a little bit more comfortable than the Honda. You can see the door panel trim. And then same thing, this sunroof lump here. And this has a bigger sunroof actually. Blind spot monitoring with the mirrors, and then down below you can see you've got the memory seat functionality, all of your window controls, and then a nice trim in the door panel. Seats are perforated down the center. You do have power adjustments in the lumbar for the driver. The passengers are just power adjustable. More soft touch around the steering wheel with contrasted stitching. We've got our heat steering wheel function, adaptive cruise control with lane centering paddles on the back for the regen system. And then you can see the gauge cluster is digital, so you can customize the information that is displayed. It's a backup camera in reverse, and you'll note it'll always be in electric mode in reverse because this doesn't actually have a transmission. It's a little bit of a different setup. But anyways, you have shortcut buttons here on the side. This says Honda's newer infotainment system. It's very quick to respond. It has the physical volume control. Below that are climate controls, dual zone climate with this heated seats as well. Got some USB ports, 12 volts, phone charging pad, shifter here for the, well, transmission. We'll put that in quotes. Anyways, drive mode, got your hill descent, parking brake, brake hold, some cup holders. That's for the center console. I like the trim on the top, and I like the vent design, how it just goes across the dash. I think, well, not gonna pop up on camera very well because of the lighting, but it's cool. Blind spot monitoring with the Subaru. You've got automatic for the front 2 windows, and again, I think it's a pretty good looking door panel. Just like the Honda, you can see perforated seats, power adjustable with lumbar support for the driver, just power adjustable for the passenger. Now with the steering wheel, we've got soft touch all around, stitching there in the center, not orange like the Honda, so it doesn't pop out as much, I suppose. Adaptive cruise control with lane centering, little paddles there on the back. Got your drive mode selected on the steering wheel too. And just like the Honda, digital gauge cluster. Now this looks a little bit more modern compared to the Honda system. I mean, it's a newer gauge cluster, so probably to be expected, right? Backup camera in reverse. Up above, you can see the X modes there. And then yeah, this is actually not Subaru's newest infotainment system, but it's got analog climate controls. It responds okay, it's pretty good. The Honda system is definitely quicker to respond, and this also has climate controls built into the screen. Some people don't care, some people won't like that. Heated seats are also on the screen too. Got some USB ports, phone charging pad, shifter here to put it into gear, and then we've got our parking brake, some cup holders, center console. Got a nice trim there, more kind of nice trim on the dash as well. So the Subaru stickers are about 43.5. The Honda's about 44,000. So there's roughly a $600 price difference between them when you look at things. Anyways, let's see which one performs the best. Subaru Forester hybrid. These hybrids, man, they're taking over the world. You know what I will say though is kind of funny about the hybrids is they aren't cheap. And so you buy a hybrid because you want what? Better fuel economy. And the assumption with better fuel economy is more range, which sometimes the hybrids will have smaller fuel tanks, so that doesn't really happen. And then to save money, but then it's like, well, you just paid so much more money for the car, so then you don't really save money. I think the real reason to get a hybrid, here's my take, is yeah, if the fuel tank's the same, the extra range, that's nice compared to a non-hybrid. And just the performance, that's the real thing. And I'm not talking about 0 to 60, I'm talking about just cruising down the road. Because with a hybrid, it is very smooth. Very smooth. And you pair that with Subaru's flat 4-cylinder and you get like double smooth. Because you got smooth from the electric assist right off the bat, and then you got smooth from the flat 4-cylinder. Checking the windows, they're just regular glass, not double paned or anything like that. And you know, I think I need to do a different road than this time of day. There's just too much stopping and starting with the reviews. It's also just hard in this area of Utah. Lots of traffic, lots and lots of traffic. Yeah, it's pretty seamless with the on-off. It's pretty darn seamless. I think this interior is relatively quiet. Seems like it, at least. Good power. Obviously, it's not like the best acceleration on the planet, but you can feel the power to an extent. I'll get another acceleration once this light goes, but that's what I was talking about, stopping and starting. So much of it. I think this Forester hybrid's nice, but yeah, you're paying a pretty penny to go hybrid. It's not really I wouldn't see it as saving money. But whenever I talk to people, that's why they always tell me they want to buy a hybrid, because they want to save money. It's like you're paying more for the car, you're saving on gas, so I guess like maybe it's because it's like a daily occurring thing. It's like every single time they fill up, it's not as expensive, or they have to fill up less often. It's like the reality is you're not really saving money in the big picture. Man, that's got good power. So you pay a premium for the hybrid. You pay a premium for the hybrid. I think it's worth it for the performance, and if you can, you know, kind of hyper mile it to get extra fuel range, so that convenience rather than saving money, it's more of a convenience thing. So if you like/want the convenience, or it's the same thing with my Land Cruiser that has a, coming in hot, Mercedes, it's the same thing with my Land Cruiser that has a 40-gallon auxiliary fuel tank. That costs money. Why did I do it? Well, I want to have the range for when I'm out in the middle of nowhere, but also the convenience of I don't have to go to the gas station very often because I have tons of driving range. So CR-V back to back with the Forester hybrid. I think this one has double paned. Yeah, it does. I was gonna say it seems quieter in here. That's why. That's why. I'm surprised Subaru's not putting that. Well, I think they do it on the touring package, not the limited. But money's money. Money is money, and the price point's the same, so you think that they would do the same stuff. Both of them. That is a big truck. This is a little driveway. Smooth. So, just like the Subaru, very smooth right off the bat. And that's the thing about the hybrids is when you're kind of just going around town at lower speeds, they all feel somewhat similar. It's just like electric cars. Like electric cars all drive pretty much the same. There's very little difference between them if they're in the same segment. Very little difference. But yeah, with the hybrids at low speeds, they all feel pretty similar. It's once you get up and move a bit quicker that they start to feel differentiated. Now with the Honda, the engine itself is noisier than the Subarus. The Subarus isn't quiet by any means, but this is a little bit rowdier, it seems like. I'd say they both feel about as similar in terms of the smooth acceleration feel at these lower speeds. But what I would say is the Honda at the top end, and I'll show this to you, is a bit better. Because of the Subaru, you're still working with an eCVT. It also is a symmetrical all-wheel drive system, so it's actually sending real power to the back versus, you know, like Toyota and Honda, they just throw electric motors in the back to call it all-wheel drive. So it's really a front-wheel drive vehicle. A little bit of electric power in the back to make it all-wheel drive. It doesn't really make too much of a difference on-road. It's more off-road that you'll see a difference. Here's what I'm talking about. Look at this transition. Smooth. Buttery smooth. Seamless. And the paddles, by the way, do the regen. Just kind of cool. But yeah, not having an actual transmission means that transitioning to lower RPMs from higher RPMs is just seamless. See the long-term reliability with that system, but it performs well. So features are pretty similar between both the cars. Pretty similar. This gets better fuel economy. The Subaru, though, is going to get better all-wheel drive grip. So what's more important to you, fuel economy or grip? Where are you driving the car? It's a question you have to ask yourself. I will say the Subaru seats are a little more comfortable. Subaru does a good job with their seats. But good news is both of them are relatively easy to get, unlike Toyota hybrids. It's kind of why I've been highlighting a lot of these non-Toyota hybrids too, is, you know, Toyota's known for their reliability and hybrid technology, but availability is just not good at all. It is difficult to get your hands on a Toyota hybrid. Whereas you can go into any Honda dealership, pretty much any Subaru dealership, and boom, leave with a hybrid the same day. Not the next day, the same day. So let me know which one you'd go for. I like both for different reasons, but I kind of lean towards the CR-V. It feels like a little bit of a better value.